Hello, my name is Henry MacDonald, and I am in American History with Mr. Squires. Um, we are doing a Chapter 42 presentation, and for my presentation, I wrote a paper, but I was also asked to reiterate my points in a video to maybe make up for some explanation in a paper format. So basically, chapter 42 is the last chapter of a giant 1,000-page history book that tells American history. And chapter 42, I think, is one of the most interesting chapters because it's meant to leave the reader with kind of like, what should we do next, and how can we write the next chapter of history in maybe a more positive way. The thesis and just like general tone of chapter 42 is not necessarily negative, but very just like eye-opening. Just kind of telling the reader that a country and our world is in trouble if we don't focus on the issues and stop fooling around and actually realize that our world could be crumbling if we don't let go of our egos and try to accept that we need to fix certain things. And it kind of explains that with every positive thing that happens, there's also really an equal negative that goes along with it. An example to this was the advancement of technology. And even though advancing technology and helping people to communicate with each other faster and advancing medicine and helping people to get healthier is an important thing, but it also puts the world at risk because the more technology there is and the more medical advancements equals two things, which is a longer lifespan and more energy used, which would be taken from the planet and therefore destroying the planet. So the lifespan thing is an issue because, even though it's great that people live almost 50 years longer now than they did a century ago, it also means that we need the resources, the time, and the money to support those people through their longer lives. And with that comes even more burdens on the world to support almost 7 billion people now. And some of those people might not even be contributing to society anymore. And even though it's a great thing that people like me and our generation get to have grandparents and great-grandparents, it also means that we need to find other ways to pool our resources and try to find affordable and practical ways to help support this generation, this old aging generation that we have and that we're going to keep on having. Another thing about technology is that we are running on limited resources, whether it has to do with oil or coal, and everything we do is powered by oil or coal or some type of most likely unrenewable energy resource. So chapter 42 kind of just puts it in context that it's very important that we realize that these things are going to run out and we need to find a way to, not just kind of like half-ass it and find some new form of energy that might not even work, but to really just step back and look at, do we really need all the things that we use, and how can we build for a better generation. A lot of positive things that are also touched on in chapter 42, such as the progression of women and the progression of blacks, and how both are very respected individuals at this point. It actually goes along with what we're doing in our English class, as we are reading The Invisible Man, and that deals with the effects of slavery and how blacks are unequal. So it's really important to read a book like that and see how somebody can feel invisible because of their race, and then to see how far we've come now with blacks having so many freedoms and women having so many freedoms, which they already should have had. So that's definitely a positive that we see in chapter 42. But mainly it does focus on where we want to be and what we want to do. And I think this is a really good way to end the book, because instead of being like fakely optimistic and saying that everything is going good, I think it gives a fair reputation of the reality of our world, and that we do need to accept the fact that Earth isn't just here forever. It's something that we have to cherish and respect, and if we don't, then it's going to crumble and we're no longer going to have it. So yeah, that's basically chapter 42, and those are some of the points in the paper that I wrote. Thank you.